Good morning, student. So this is my third video on electronic configuration. So here in this video we are going to see how to write short electronic configuration. So in this video we are going to understand how we are going to write a small form of electronic configuration. So in most of the time in your books you are going to see those electronic configuration, that also you need to understand how we are going to write. So for the short electronic configuration, we must go for noble gases, that is these elements. Helium, we must know the electronic configuration of these elements. So we just understand how we are going to see. Helium first, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. So these are the elements. We must know the electronic configuration of these elements. Atomic number of helium is 2, neon is 10, argon is 18, krypton is 36, xenon is 54. So here I am just writing the electronic configuration of these elements. You just see helium is 2, that is going to be 1s2. So based on the energy of orbital, we will just fill it. So you just see. After that I will show how to write it short. So before writing the short electronic configuration, we are just see the electronic configuration of these elements called as noble gases, right? So neon, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 10. So total is 10 is over. Now if I go for argon, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 18. Total 18 is over argon. Then krypton, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10. Now 3d10 is coming in between 3d10 and 4p6. You can count 36. Right? In the same way we are going for xenon. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10, 4p6, then 5s2. After 5s2, we have to go for 4d10 and 5p6, 54. So in this way we know the electronic configuration of these elements. So these electronic configuration we must know. Then instead of these electronic configuration, we are going to write simple the name of this element. Suppose for example, if I am going for short electronic configuration of carbon. Suppose if I want to write the short electronic configuration of carbon. So carbon, atomic number is 6. So the noble gas which we have before this element, the carbon, before this element, which noble gas we have, that noble gas we have to write first. That is, before carbon we have only one noble gas, that is helium. After carbon we have neon, 10. So before neon, just before the neon we are having carbon, before carbon we have helium. So helium we have to take. So instead of writing this 1s2, we are writing what? Only helium. And remaining we have to write the electronic configuration. 2s2, 2p2. So this is what the short electronic configuration of carbon we can say. Then in the same way, if I go for sodium, suppose if I go for sodium atomic number is 11. So before sodium, which element we have, which is the noble gas? We know neon. Atomic number of neon is 10. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. So now we are not writing that 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Instead of 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, what we are writing? Neon. That we are writing in the bracket neon. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 is over. Then next is going to be 3s1. That is completed. So sodium electronic configuration short. This one is going to be short. Suppose if I am going for any other element, like I am taking scandium now. For example, I am taking scandium. Atomic number of scandium, example 21. So instead of writing this 21 total, simply I am taking just the element, the noble gas, which is just before the scandium. Just before the scandium, which noble gas we have? 18, that is argon. So argon electronic configuration is this one. So instead of writing all these, simply I am taking what? Argon. So 18 is over. 18 is over. That is still 3p6 is over. Then we have to go for 4s2 3d1. So in that order, even after the krypton, a long element like xenon also we want to take, we can take and we can write the electronic configuration of any other element. So remember that simply, if I have xenon, suppose after this xenon I am taking one example, lanthanum. So this lanthanum is having atomic number 57. So 54 till 54, 5p6 we have. So 54 we have already have 54. So xenon simply we have to add. Right. So after xenon we have like 5p6 we have now. So after 5p6 simply we have to go for the remaining electronic configuration for xenon. So 1s2 to 5p6 we are not writing. Instead of that, what we are adding? We are adding xenon. So after 5p6 what we have? That we have to write now. So simply 5p, after that we have 6s2. Right. After 6s2 it is going to be 4f1. So actually it is going to be 4f0 and 5d1 actually. 4f0 and 5d1, that is also considered exception in the M block element, right? So this is what we have: carbon, sodium, scandium, lanthanum. Short electronic configuration we are writing. So instead of writing this total xenon, so instead of this 1s2 to 4 5p, simply we are taking this term xenon and remaining the left of configuration only we are writing. So that is what we call short electronic configuration. So now you can take number of examples, like you can take chlorine, argon. After before chlorine we have neon. So you can write the chlorine 17. So if you want chlorine atomic number 17, you can write by your own. And any other element, whatever the element you are taking, if you take these and considering these electronic configuration of noble gases, and you can go for small electronic configuration. And most of the time in your books they are going to give in this way. Now you are going to understand why they are given in this way and what it is called. What is called? It is called as a short electronic configuration. So hope you understand. After this, one more topic is left, that is Hund's rule. So that I am going to explain over here after that. So simply I am just learning this. Hope you understand this particular short electronic configuration topic. Then we are going to discuss Hund's rule, a small topic. So we'll see what Hund's rule is. So Hund's rule is also called as Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. So I'm just writing over here Hund's rule, a small topic we have. So this is also will come under this electronic configuration only. So Hund's rule is what Hund's rule says, maximum multiplicity. So suppose to explain this, I'm just taking a simple example over here. So I'm taking the example of oxygen over here. Atomic number of oxygen is 8, right? If I write the electronic configuration, see 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So this is the electronic configuration of oxygen. So when I'm entering the electron, so I'm just drawing a box. I'm showing that as a shell. So this is nothing but the orbital. So in the box form, just drawing the orbital. So this is 1s orbital, and this is 2s orbital. And when I come to the p orbital, so in p orbital again we have 3 subshells, right? How many subshells we have in p orbital? We have 3 subshells. So this one is 1s, this one is 2s, and this one is total 2p. In the 2p we have 3 subshells. The name of those subshells are px, py, and pz. So now when I am filling the orbital, when I am filling the orbital 1s or 2s, simply I am filling the orbital with the electron. Because in s orbital how many electrons we have? 2 electrons. So 2 electrons are filling over here. In the 2s orbital also we have 2 electrons, 1 and 2. That we are filling. After that, next 4 electrons are entering in these 3 subshells of one total p shell. So in this p shell, I can fill these electrons in this way: 1, 2, 3, 4. This is one possibility. So first I am just completely filling px, then I am going for py and completely filling py as well. So this is one method. And second method is instead of filling completely, I am going for single first. Px is going to be take 1 electron, py is going to be take 1 electron, and pz is also going to take 1 electron. Then after completion of this single filling, we are going for completely filling with opposite spin. So now we have two possibilities, and according to Ohm's rule, this is wrong and this one is correct. So what Ohm's rule says? Ohm's rule says in the p orbital, we have three suborbitals or three subshells. So these three subshells are degenerate. What degenerate means? Having equal energy. If they are having equal energy, then the electrons will enter singly first. Then the electron enter singly first. So single electrons are filling, and the spin of those electrons is also going to be same. So only one spin is going to be enter. So same spin they are going to be enter first. After filling that single, then they are going to be completely filled. So that is what we call as Ohm's rule of maximum multiplicity. So whenever you are entering the electron, you have to follow this rule, which helps to understand the spectroscopy and many chemistry topics. So hope you understand this Ohm's rule. As you are going for this p orbital, even if you are getting the d orbital also, in the d orbital also you are going to be filled singly first, then you are going to be paired them with the opposite spin. So first they are just filling with the same spin, all of them half filled, then full filled they are becoming with the opposite spin. So this particular rule is called Ohm's rule. So hope you understand this part as well.
Explain what d orbital also.
So okay, I'll explain the d orbital also. I'll just explain one more, that is the d orbital. Like example I am taking over here. Suppose one example I am taking iron. So iron example, atomic number is 26. So here 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d6. Okay. Now suppose all of them are just filling the electron. If I write initial wise, I can write. Now I'm just showing this D, how this D is going to be filled. So in D subshell we have total 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So here it is going to be dx, dxy, dyz and dzx. Then dz square and dx square minus y square. So these are 5 different name of the subshell. Now how we are going to fill them according to Ohm's rule? So 6. So 6 electrons means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is correct. Then 6th one is going to be enter into the first one. The first, that is px dxy. First they are going to enter into this and in the opposite spin. And if any other will come in the next, like if I go for after that iron we have cobalt 27. So it will be 3d10. That will be enter over here. So first they are going to be filled singly first, then they are going to be filled completely with opposite spin in the d orbital, and same follows with the f orbital also. In the f orbital also you are going to fill in that way. 7 half filled first, then you are going to be filled completely. So this is what we call as Ohm's rule.
Names of that orbital.
So dxy, if you want the orbital name, dxy, dyz, dzx, dz square, dx square minus y square. So these are the name of the orbital, like we have px, py and pz, right? Okay. So now here I am just stopping. So hope you understand this Ohm's rule.